As cracks widen within NATO over the Iran conflict, Russia is openly calling out what it sees as a deepening divide between the United States and its European allies. Moscow claims the refusal by the EU and the United Kingdom to support Washington's push in the Strait of Hormuz is no longer just strategic hesitation, but a political signal. According to Russian officials, this moment exposes long-simmering tensions within the Western alliance. With Europe stepping back from military involvement and distancing itself from US President Donald Trump's approach, Moscow is framing the situation as a clear fracture in transatlantic unity.
The masks have slipped. Warmongers in the UK and EU are demonstrating how anti-Trump they truly are. They tried to hide it for a long time, but now it's clear for everyone to see. Trump will remember.
United States-Iran war has driven a wedge between the world's biggest defense alliance, and they are not even hiding it anymore. NATO allies and EU have essentially dumped Trump on his recouste, covered with a threat to West to join the Iran war and secure Strait of Hormuz. US now faces fire two fronts, one from Iran's never-stopping missile barrage and other from their own allies. Here is what is happening. From Brussels to Berlin to London, the message is identical and blunt. This is not our war. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has made it clear there is no appetite to expand Europe's naval mission into the Strait of Hormuz. Europe wants trade routes open, but it does not want to fight America's war. Even as Iran squeezes 1/5 of the world's oil supply, Brussels is choosing sanctions over warships.
Iran is now waging war on global economy. Ministers reaffirmed today that our focus is de-escalation and also to the freedom of navigation. I also discussed with UN Secretary General Guterres and many others over the past days how to keep the Strait of Hormuz open. Europe has no interest in an open-ended war.
Germany has gone even further, openly questioning Trump's strategy. Defense Minister Boris Pistorius has asked what a handful of European frigates can achieve if the mighty US Navy itself cannot secure Hormuz. Berlin has ruled out any military participation, calling the conflict one it did not start. This is not hesitation. This is direct pushback against Washington.
What does the world expect? What does Donald Trump expect a handful or two handfuls of European frigates to achieve in the Strait of Hormuz that the powerful American Navy cannot manage alone?
France, meanwhile, is taking a calibrated position. President Emmanuel Macron says Paris is not at war with Iran and insists France's role remains purely defensive. Even as Trump claims Macron is likely to help, he admits France is not perfect. Paris is keeping the door open to coordination, but like the rest of Europe, it is avoiding direct military escalation in the Gulf.
Our soldiers were attacked while, as we have been doing for several years, they are fighting as part of an international coalition against the resurgence of terrorism in the region and in service of Iraqi sovereignty. This is obviously unacceptable. Faced with the ongoing war, France's position is purely defensive in support of its allies and can never justify any attack against it. France will continue to show composure, calm and determination, remain reliable towards our partners, protect our citizens and defend our interests and our security, and nothing ever will deter us from these objectives.
In London, Prime Minister Keir Starmer is walking a tightrope. He admits the crisis is hitting British households through soaring energy prices, but refuses to be dragged into a wider war. The UK is offering coordination, technology and planning, but not warships. The priority, Starmer says, is the cost of living. not another military entanglement.
Our priority is always the national interest, and so we have been clear and consistent in our objectives throughout this conflict. First, we will protect our people in the region. Second, while taking the necessary action to defend ourselves and our allies, we will not be drawn into the wider war. And third, we will keep working towards a swift resolution that brings security and stability back to the region and stops the Iranian threat to its neighbours.
And then comes Donald Trump, turning up the pressure. The US president says some allies are enthusiastic, others not so much. He admits he is not happy with the United Kingdom and is testing NATO's loyalty in real time. At the center of it all is the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most critical oil choke point. Iran is tightening its grip. Prices are surging, and NATO is no longer united. Europe is stepping back, Trump is pushing forward, and the alliance is now staring at a serious internal rupture.
So I was very upset with, not upset, I was not happy with the UK. I think they'll be involved, yeah, maybe. But they should be involved enthusiastically. We've been protecting these countries for years with NATO, because NATO is us. You can ask Putin. Putin fears us. He doesn't fear, he has no fear of Europe whatsoever. He fears the United States of America and the military that was built by me in the first term.